What if I told you your cat isn't just sleeping next to you, they're making a decision that goes against thousands of years of survival instinct, and most owners completely miss what it really means. Because when a cat chooses to sleep beside you, they're not choosing comfort, they're choosing you over their own safety, and hidden inside that quiet moment is one of the most powerful signals your cat will ever send. One, it was never about warmth. Most people believe this simple idea: your cat sleeps with you because you're warm, that's it. But here's where it breaks. Cats are experts at finding heat, sun patches, electronics, blankets, hidden corners that trap warmth better than your body ever could. So if warmth was the goal, you wouldn't be the first choice, but you are. And that changes everything. Because sleep is the most dangerous state for a cat. It's when they are completely vulnerable, no escape, no defense, and yet they walk past safe hiding places and lie next to a human who is infinitely larger than them. This isn't convenience. This is trust at a level most people never fully understand. Studies on feline attachment show that cats form secure bonds similar to infants, meaning when your cat sleeps beside you, they are saying something very specific. You are my safe place. But here's where it gets even deeper. They're not just trusting you with their safety, they're trusting you with their awareness, too. The stare you didn't understand. Have you ever woken up and your cat is just staring at you, completely still, unblinking, almost intense? Most people think it's random, or even a little creepy, but that stare is loaded with meaning. In the animal world, direct eye contact can be a threat. Predators lock eyes before action. So when your cat looks at you and doesn't look away, they're doing something very unusual. They're holding. Attention without aggression. Now watch closely. If that stare softens, if their eyes slowly blink, you're witnessing one of the rarest signals in animal behavior. The slow blink, it's often called a cat kiss. But that barely scratches the surface. Because what's really happening is neurological. Your cat is lowering their guard, deliberately, in front of you. They're telling you, without sound, I trust you enough to relax my vision around you. And here's the part most people miss. When you slow blink back, and they repeat it, you've just entered a silent conversation. A bonding loop that strengthens your connection over time. This is how cats communicate safety, without ever making a noise, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. And this leads to something even more intense. 3. The eyes that never leave you. Sometimes your cat doesn't blink, they just watch, pupils wide, fully focused, almost like they're studying you. And this is where people get it completely wrong, because they assume it's affection, but it's actually something more complex. This is predator focus, but redirected. Your cat is both a hunter and a bonded companion, and when they stare like this, they are locking into your movement patterns, your breathing, your micro-expressions. They're learning you, mapping you, understanding you at a level that feels almost unsettling when you realize it. But here's the twist. They only do this with things that matter: prey, threats, and deeply bonded individuals, which means, in their mind, you fall into a category worth constant awareness. Now here's where it gets interesting. If their pupils are slightly dilated, not fully, not aggressively, just enough, it's not fear, it's emotional stimulation. Your presence is triggering a response in their nervous system, a mix of curiosity, attachment, and alertness. And the fact that they choose to stay close instead of retreat tells you everything you need to know. But what happens when those eyes change, when they soften into something almost sleepy, almost half closed? That's where the real meaning begins, and most owners miss it completely. 4. The half-closed trust stare. This is the look most people ignore because it seems ordinary. Your cat is lying beside you, eyes partially closed, watching you, not fully asleep, not fully alert, just there. But this is one of the deepest signals of emotional safety a cat can give, because in the wild, a cat would never allow their awareness to drop like this unless they were completely secure. Those half-closed eyes mean their nervous system is relaxed, their guard is down, and yet they still choose to keep you in their field of vision, not out of fear, but out of connection. It's like they're saying, I can rest, but I still want to be aware of you. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. This state is neurologically similar to light sleep in humans, meaning your cat is hovering between rest and awareness. Specifically because you're there, they are anchoring themselves to your presence. And that's not instinct, that's choice. And if you've ever noticed them slowly drifting into sleep while still facing you, you're watching trust happen in real time. But this behavior doesn't stop when you fall asleep. In fact, that's when it becomes even more revealing. 5. The night watcher. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and your cat is awake, staring into the dark, or quietly watching you sleep? It feels strange, almost like they're guarding something, and in a way they are, because deep inside your cat's brain, the predator still exists, even in the safest home. That instinct never fully disappears, so when you're asleep, completely unaware, your cat shifts roles, they become alert, aware of sounds you can't hear, movements you don't notice, changes in the environment that would go completely past you. And here's the key detail: they choose to stay near you while doing it, meaning they're not just reacting to the environment, they're positioning themselves in relation to you. This is ancient behavior. In wild colonies, some cats rest while others stay alert, rotating roles to protect the group, and somehow, your cat has placed you inside that system. You are not just a human to them, you are part of their circle. Something worth watching over, something worth staying close to even when their instincts tell them to move. And this connects to something even more powerful, something that shouldn't happen, but does. 6. They change their biology for you. Cats are naturally crepuscular, meaning their bodies are wired to be most active at dawn and dusk, not at night, not during your sleep schedule, but bonded cats do something incredible. Over time they shift, they stay awake when you're awake, they sleep when you sleep, they override thousands of years of evolutionary programming just to align with you. Think about that. An animal whose entire nervous system is designed for a completely different rhythm slowly rewires itself. Because of your presence, this isn't habit, this is adaptation driven by attachment. Your cat is synchronizing with you, not because they have to, but because they want to exist in your world, and when they sleep beside you, matching your breathing, your stillness, your rhythm, they are doing something no wild cat would ever do. They are choosing connection over instinct, and that leads to the most important part, the one most people never see coming. 7. When it suddenly stops. If your cat has always slept with you, always watched you, always stayed close, and one day they don't, most people brush it off. Maybe they just want space. But that's not how cats work. Cats are creatures of deep patterns, and when a pattern this meaningful breaks, it's communication. Sometimes it's physical, discomfort, illness, pain. Cats instinctively isolate when something is wrong. Other times, it's emotional, a change in environment, stress, something that disrupted their sense of safety. And sometimes, it's something you did, without realizing, a loud reaction, a shift. In routine, a new presence in their space. To you it's small, to them it's everything. Because remember, sleeping beside you was never casual. It was a decision built on trust. And if that disappears, it means something changed in how safe they feel. So don't ignore it. Pay attention. Observe. Reconnect. Because that quiet presence beside you at night, that soft breathing, those half-closed eyes, that silent stare, it was never just a habit. It was a message, repeated every single night, telling you something simple and powerful. You are home.